Guess what, Reina?
What is it, Steven Suppy?
After all this time, we finally have a sponsor.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much, Mack Weldon, for sponsoring this special episode of Boys Only Club. We're actually wearing some Mack Weldon items right now.
Unthreaded out, yeah.
Threaded out. This is very comfortable. We are wearing the same size, so this is what it looks like on a person of my size, and this is what it looks like
I should have put the air conditioning down.
Oh, is
I'm
it?
getting sweaty.
Oh,
I wore a shirt underneath.
Yeah, but it looks good up. It looks good with a shirt underneath.
Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah.
I just wish that I put the air conditioning
Right,
up.
it's too hot. Actually, I'm not wearing anything underneath, and
Which
I think I am
speaks volumes
through.
about its quality if it keeps me warm.
It does, doesn't it? Actually, I really like it, and it does feel really good. It's comfortable, and I like its crew
Well,
neck.
that shirt was meant for Mike,
I know, but
which is why it doesn't fit you exactly.
You know what, though? I wear a lot of Mike's clothing, and it feels great.
And I guess that begs the question, why?
Because it's really comfortable. And I feel, lately I've been feeling a little bit chubby, and when I wear his clothes, I feel a lot thinner. So
That's cool. When I wear bigger clothes, it makes me feel like the smaller man that I am.
Why? Oh, because you're swimming in it?
Yeah.
Okay, I understand.
And I don't have broad shoulders.
Oh, right. So it kind of like slumps you in more.
Okay, back to the sponsor.
So as we mentioned before, Mack Weldon actually is extremely comfortable. I am sporting their socks right now, and they're hugging all the right things. It feels incredible. Are you checking out their underpants?
Yes. I've stained all of mine, so this is going to be perfect.
That's terrible news. Okay. Well, I love it. I love the colors. The orange is really nice. May I feel it? Is it weird that it's okay. Very nice. Very nice. And Mack Weldon has a line of silver underwear that has antimicrobials in it, natural antimicrobials, which means it
makes you not stink.
Exactly. It eliminates odors. Mack Weldon promises to be the most comfortable, so if you aren't happy with your first purchase, they will still refund you. And you don't have to give it back. Isn't that great? Did you just smell your feet?
Yes, that's wonderful news, though.
Okay, yeah. Thank you so much, Mack Weldon, for sponsoring this episode. If you use the coupon code BOYSONLY, you'll get 20% off your purchase. Since this is our first sponsorship, it would be really helpful for us if you went and got their stuff.
Reina wouldn't let me do the sponsorship.
Well, no, you did. What is it? What is the anti-smelly thing?
Mantis.
Oh shit!
Are we starting? Is this it?
Hold on. Is there?
Welcome to the pinkest podcast, the boy one. Welcome.
Someone told me, or someone in the comment section was like, "Oh, you guys look like two kooky what is it? Two kooky milkshake owners or something like that." Because of
shop?
Yeah, because I guess of the gray and the white.
I guess, yeah. Like I could see this being like a Portland milkshake. Like, oh yeah, you come in, it's just one room, and
It's
there's
just
a
one
big
room.
circle, and
you sit with us.
Yeah, you sit with the owner of the milkshake shop, and
And
they
we're
give you a
kooky.
milkshake. Can we talk about the elephant in the room, or rather than the elephant,
All right.
the two cups?
Yes. We are going to get into it.
Human urine
Yes, we'll get into it in a second.
which also is pretty quirky.
It is quirky.
It is quite quirky.
It's terrible. Welcome back to the Boys Only Club podcast, episode 43, I think. I'm Reina Scully.
And I'm Steven Suptic. I've been here for every single episode.
The whole
What are
time.
you talking about?
Nobody said anything. What are you talking about? But yes, today I have upgraded Steven, and instead of Suppy, I have Lyle with me today.
Hello.
Yay. But in all seriousness, though, Steve is in Sydney, I believe, for RTX Sydney.
Yeah,
So-
tangling with the 15-foot Australian spiders.
Oh my God, what?
That country is a nightmare
Wait,
hole.
what?
They eat sludge on their bread, and they have giant spiders.
Wait, how big are the
You know
spiders?
kangaroos have claws, right?
Yeah, and did you know that their like inner tummy is all like wet and yucky, and it's all like meshy
it's
in
like,
there?
everything I hear about that country is horrifying.
hold
That's
on.
why Australians all have great senses of humor, is because they live in a country
Where they fear everything.
they
They
where
could die at
everything
any
tries
moment.
to kill them.
Okay,
right.
that is true. Maud is probably the sharpest person I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's gallows humor, because their whole country is gallows. It was a prison island.
That's true.
They've got fucking sharks, and they complain about people killing the sharks because the sharks aren't claiming enough Australians. They want more of them.
They want more of them. Wait, can you go back to the spiders? Because lately I've been watching this thing on Netflix, which is like 72 most dangerous animals or whatever.
Yeah, they got big old spiders, and sometimes they like lay big eggs and they burst, and all the spiders like fall down onto the city.
What? Like from the sky?
Yeah, it rains spiders there sometimes. They have like spider trees where like the
Good luck,
spiders...
Suppy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, okay. I only hear lovely things about Australia, although I do hear a lot about their scary creatures. I feel like that's always a south of the equator situation. I always feel like anything that's on the southern hemisphere has really horrifying insects.
Yeah.
Is that just me?
Yeah. Can I say one more Australian spider fact?
Please say one more Australian spider
I hear
fact.
that if you stay in a hotel in Australia, it is custom, it is tradition for them to take one singular spider and release it somewhere in the hotel in Australia.
I love staying in a hotel where I could wake up in a crisis. That's my favorite situation.
Yeah, it's tradition. It's Australian tradition.
I don't like it. It's terrible. Actually, that reminds me though, like I really don't like spiders, so I will always remember bad spider stories. I had a friend who used to visit Madrid, like real Spain, all the time. And he told me that there were spiders everywhere, like inside of buildings, everywhere, inside of your home, inside of the mall, shopping area, whatever there is, there's spiders everywhere. And it's supposedly a thing where like if you look in a corner and the corner's dark, it's because there's a shit ton of spiders there. And I don't know. Is that why do I hate spiders so much?
I mean, do you want the real answer to that?
Don't psychoanalyze me. Don't know.
No, but I mean, humans are just kind of hardwired to not like spiders or things that scuttle. There's weird things where it's like we're afraid of like long limbs and for some reason little white faces. That's why sleep paralysis monsters, they're always like this big dark gangly thing with a little white face.
That's so weird. Oh, is that why like Slender Man is like kind of iconically the way he looks?
Well, I mean probably somewhat, but I mean
kind of maybe like subconsciously.
Sleep paralysis is a thing.
Yeah.
There's like you wake up and like it's for some reason it's just something that's like drilled into our heads that big long thing with little white face. Maybe there was once like a prehistoric creature that was like a big long thing with a little white face, and humans had a natural predator.
Oh, and we were naturally afraid of it. We innately know to fear it and run away from it.
Exactly. Kept us on our toes. Either that or we just fucking wake up and we're like, oh, I can't move, and there's a long thing with a little white face.
That's so freaking weird. There's a lot of weird, like actually Japanese traditional mythological things that have a weird tiny white face.
Yeah.
They wear masks. It's like a tiny white mask.
It's like a human condition thing.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
It's fascinating.
I find sleep paralysis monsters really funny.
I can't believe there's a monster to it.
Well, I mean,
I know, it's like
I just find them hilarious because it's like, oh yeah, I woke up and there was a little goblin sitting on my chest. I'm like,
and I couldn't move.
I love it. I would love to wake up with a little goblin sitting on my.
Sensation. Yeah. I want to know what that feels like. I want to know what kind of reaction I would have to a tiny white-faced little goblin sitting on me with long limbs, I guess.
Yeah, the shadow people.
Speaking of, well, I mean, I guess not shadow people, but all right, let's air out your grievances with this office.
Oh, we completely got sidetracked from talking about the pee. We came into this room.
Yeah.
We came
I'm
into
sorry,
this room.
Lyle. I'm sorry.
And sat here.
No, we didn't sit down yet.
No, not us sitting. On this table, here and here, as if placed as cups for the host and co-host of this podcast were two cups completely filled to the brim of human urine.
Completely filled to the brim. And so filled,
Reina walked in and she was like, no. This is pee. That's pee. And I'm like, that's not pee.
How else am I supposed to warn you?
Kim comes into the room and he's like, I'll get this out of here. And I'm like, this is a joke. I'm being joked on right
Prank.
now. I'm being goofed at. And so
it's a bazinga.
Kib walks over to the pee. And I can tell by his face the moment he picks up the pee, this is real pee. He picks it up like, I don't want, like real like fear of spilling this liquid. And I'm like, this is real actual human pee.
Yeah, it was in a cup much like this.
Two cups filled completely to the top.
And it looks like this. So you'd imagine that on an empty table like this, if there were just two cups sitting here, it's kind of supposed to be like a, here you go for you, man. But It was filled with pee, so I'm really sorry about that. I have to genuinely apologize.
I mean, you can drink pee. It's not a big deal.
That's not the point. That is so not the point. The point is that Steve had Steve had one real normal task before he left for Australia.
Which is not fill the office with pee.
You know what? That wasn't even it. I didn't think that I had to lay that out. I didn't think that that was a rule that anybody would have to like actually write out or verbalize to a person, right? So the one thing he had to do was not remind me, but like let me know when he leaves for the airport so he can give me the office keys. He didn't do that at all, obviously. I don't know why I expected him to do the right thing. But on top of making it almost impossible to shoot here while you're gone, you left 2 filled cups of pee on our shooting space. And the worst part is it was so filled to the brim that there was some leakage on the side, and it created 2 yellow cup pee stains on the table, and there was no Clorox left over there, so I had to get like boiling hot water to sanitize the table, and then I put hand sanitizer on a paper towel and wiped it down and then did my hands. But like, this is not chill, dude. The cups are right there. I'll show you. It's right. It's not cool. It's filled. It's right there. They're just right there. Kip didn't take it out. It's just in the corner of the room.
Is it weird that part of me respects that?
No, stop saying that. Well, okay, fine. All right, let me take it back. I'm sorry. Why do you respect it? In what realm can you twist this to mean respect?
It's funny.
It's commitment. He commits.
He commits to it.
All right.
It's one thing to joke about filling cups with pee and leaving it there. It's another thing to actually do it.
Okay, it is also, you know what? It is, okay.
It gave us a great start. If nothing else, you have to admit, it gave us a great start to this whole podcast.
Fine.
This whole experience.
It's true. It's true because this is your first time in the office. Yeah.
Oh, does it lose its luster the more it happens? Does it happen a lot?
Are you kidding? This is every day. Lyle, that's why I was thinking he knows that I have to shoot here without him. He knows I have to get a guest in here. There's no way he's peeing on my desk. Was I wrong?
You were.
I was so wrong. He didn't give me the keys. Why is this happening?
That's your reward for breaking into the office.
I guess.
Is you get cups of pee.
Cups of pee. Okay.
See, it's a sign of his faith that you were able to get in without the key.
And that is
he believes in you.
That's how you twisted it into respect.
He believes in you. He believes in you enough to lay out a secondary prank in the case that the first prank doesn't get you.
So the real prank was, there's no episode this week because I'm not here?
No, that was a test.
Oh my God.
It was a test, and when you passed the test, you earned a prank.
It's not fair.
That's the most YouTube thing I've ever heard.
It actually is the most meta YouTube bullshit thing I've ever heard. Not a rule because
I was hoping I could pop one off before.
I mean, you can, but it's not fair. This world is not fair. Wait, okay.
Why? Because we get to pee standing up?
Actually, you know what? This world is fair.
Do you have a skill that...
I have, yeah. Well, actually, you might actually be impressed. You might be impressed. So I know I bitch a lot about septic peeing in cups, but I think it's because it's inappropriate to subject other people to it, like us and like Kib, who had to remove it for us, you know. It's just not fair. It's a little not centered, so I'm going to have to fix it. All right, cool. And we're going to leave that in.
Okay.
So I don't like that he just does it here in his office, and we have to deal with it. If you just have to pee in a cup because it's an emergency, it's fine. I don't care. That's fine. You could pee in a cup because I've done it in a moving car.
Okay. All right. That's impressive.
Do you remember Audrey?
I can't imagine how this is the start of this story, but go on.
No, it's only because it was in her car.
Okay.
So she drives an SUV, and we were stuck on the 405 for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
I could not hold it in any longer. And we also drank a lot of iced coffee, so that's not helping. And so I took one of our emptied coffee cups, and I like went like behind her because she's driving, obviously. And I peed in that cup completely, but then I filled it. I filled it, and then I put the lid on so that nothing could happen to it, and I wrapped it up in a lot of plastic and left it in the back until we were done driving, and then I dumped it out and I cleaned out her car. I think that
All right.
is okay, right? Because emergency and also aftercare.
No, it's acceptable. I have a less acceptable story about peeing in a bottle. In a bottle in a car. No, so this was at like my old college, my old shitty community college.
Ooh.
Where so the parking lot of the college was like a solid like 5 to 10 minute walk away from the actual school.
Ew.
And the seats of my car were pretty comfortable. So in between classes, I would go and I would sit in my car and fuck around on my phone and shit.
All right, it was community college.
Yeah. So I was sitting in my car and I was like, it was like this weird point in time where it was like 30 minutes till my class. So I could either walk 10 minutes to the school and then wait 20 minutes, or like walk 10 minutes, go walk 10 more minutes back to my car, and then basically have to turn around again. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I've got this Gatorade bottle. I'm just gonna do the deed here.
And you're in a parking lot.
Yes, I'm in a parking lot. So it was the opening of the Gatorade bottle was like just too small for me to comfortably
aim.
Yeah. So I'm like trying to get it in there.
Like you're trying to maneuver.
Yeah. And I see this cop coming towards me, and I'm like, oh fuck. So
you're so fucked.
I threw my jacket over my lap, and I've got this Gatorade bottle, and I've already started going, so I'm like holding it. The cop knocks on my window, and I roll it down, and he's like, "You got a parking pass?" And I'm like, yeah. So I'm like peeing in this bottle, like holding it, like flush, and I basically showed the cop my parking. It turned out fine.
Were you actively peeing, or were you just holding it? Were you cinching?
Well,
were you sphinctering?
In that kind of moment, you clench up.
You clench up,
it
right?
was like midstream.
Oh my God, that is so bad. Why did he come up to your car? Just because you were in there?
They check for parking passes.
Yeah. Okay. And they saw that someone was in the car, which is probably why he approached it at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so he wasn't suspecting anything. Good for you.
No, he never.
You got away with it. That is far less acceptable.
Officer, if you're watching this, the rest of the pee, I was thinking about you.
Oh, you're a lucky one. Oh, no. See? Emergencies. Yours is not an emergency. You could have walked.
No, it was completely avoidable.
Yeah. That was like planned. Yeah. So that's why at first I wasn't so hard on Steve for doing this. Also, like, I kind of get it. I have to pee a lot, and I really don't like his bathrooms here in his office. Like, they're really nasty. So having to go there, but it's only like every couple hours. You know what? Never mind. I have no excuses for you, man. You gotta stop. You gotta stop. Like, what? Anyway, moving on from the pee conversation, because I can't anymore. Lyle.
Yeah.
What have you been up to? I see there's a lot of movement on your channel.
Yeah, I move sometimes. No, I rebranded because I used to go by Lyle McDouchebag, and that's really your choices when you have like a PG rated swear word in your name are to either convince every single social media platform to take you off of a gray list.
Yeah.
Or change your name. And I figured the latter was easier.
A lot easier.
So
you've been Lyle McDouchebag for a while, though, yeah?
Yeah. So it's Lyle Wrath now.
Yeah.
Which is pretty fucking metal.
It is. It is indeed.
So, yeah. I mean, I rebranded. It was pretty fucking easy because people got their finger on the pulse of that shit. My Twitter game is the most fire shit. Let me just tell you something.
What is happening?
Let me just fucking brag for a second. Let me just tell people to get on my goddamn level. I have like 60, 70,000 Twitter followers, right?
Humble brag.
I almost never make a tweet because I actually try to like go on the platform and I go, what would be actually interesting and not just me talking about the fucking quitchy that I made just now.
What's quitchy?
Quitchy. It's like fucking spinach and egg and cheese and like a little. It doesn't matter.
It's pronounced quiche.
la-di-da. Welcome to America. Ooh. Yeah. But no, I'll see these fucking accounts and they'll have like 500,000 followers and then they'll just like tweet something and they'll get like 2-3 retweets. Like I'll see like under 100 retweets on like some person that's got like 40 times my followers, and I'm just like, yeah, here's a dumb joke, and I like my
here's
Twitter,
a dumb Queechy joke.
My Twitter game is way too good for somebody like of my caliber.
I like, it's so weird, but like I know what you're talking about because I've always wondered how.
So why did you pretend you didn't know when I said Quitchy and you were like,
okay, Quitchy is quiche. That's a completely different universe. It's a culinary world. No, but like on Twitter, I remember when I was at SourceFed, that was my first my first entrance into the world of like, oh my gosh, like famous people, right? Like I'm like literally working with people that have extremely substantial like social media followings and whatnot.
Yeah.
And everybody was like appropriate. Like if you had like, for example, 100,000 followers, you would appropriately get like 1,000 likes and like 500 retweets or like 2,000 likes. You know, like it kind of made sense. But then I'd randomly find people that would have like an overwhelming amount of followers, but their Twitter is just not very, it's obviously not interesting, but also their followers must not be as like intense or whatever, because there seems to not be a lot of retweets, likes, or movement on it. And I never understood how they could possibly get so many followers but not have engagement.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of fucking people, they'll just like
buy them.
They'll have like, well, no, I'm saying like a lot of people are the kind of people where it's like, an electrical outlet didn't work in my house. Here's 15 tweets about it. You know,
hey, listen, Lyle, I bitch all the time on Twitter. It is my therapy.
I just make sure that I make it entertaining.
Yeah.
You can bitch about real world things, or you can make up real world things to bitch about.
That's true. That's true.
I like to kind of blur the line on whether I'm like actually like I like to blur.
Really mad
I like
to
blur the line between like cries for help and comedy.
I totally understand. I totally get it.
I actually there was I made a fucking tweet. And I said something like...
I'm straight looking you up right now.
My so-called therapist says that suicidal thoughts still count, apparently, if they're comedic. And I went on a rant that could almost double as like a stand-up comedy workshop. This bitch should be paying me. I don't go to a fucking therapist. It's completely
amazing.
False. And people were like, dude, are you okay? And I was like... I almost considered clarifying
that it's
and
a
I
joke.
Was like,
you can't explain
I was
your
like,
jokes.
No. I'll let them.
Let them
wonder. It's funnier if they wonder.
Let them wonder. They're the ones that pose the question.
Yeah. I like to smear that line, or just sometimes I'll outright lie to throw them off my trail. You have no idea if anything. You have no idea if anything I say on this podcast is even true or not. It's
actually
now been mystified.
That has always been the Lyle brand. It's true. We're not quite sure.
I usually if something is like true and it's really fucking weird, I will specify that it's true.
That it's really fucking weird.
Because I do that, because I do just kind of fucking like, this would be funny. Throw it out there.
Yeah.
People are so obsessed with like genuine personalities on the internet nowadays. And so many people who pretend to be genuine personalities are not. So I just figure my goal is to go out there and fucking entertain people.
Wild card.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because you can't lose if you're a wild card. I get that. My favorite people are wild cards, so I get it. Yeah. About the people want genuine people, I think that's bullshit nowadays.
They want to think they have genuine. They want interesting people, but they want to think that it's genuine.
Because I watch a lot of vloggers, and I watch a lot of like vloggers in a lot of different countries, and they're so good at entertaining and they're so good at producing their vlogs. So you're really watching like a fun piece of content. But the reality is, I do feel like I'm kind of with them in their day-to-day because it's a daily vlog and you literally watch the day go from like day to night within their 20-minute vlog or whatever. But there's no way that anybody is that positive at all times. And these people like upload every single day. And I vlog sometimes and I hate it sometimes because I'm like, well, I just want to eat my meal. I don't want to like take a video of it and like tell my husband to like stop eating because I need to take a picture of it. And it kind of... There's no way I personally could find a happy medium in that kind of lifestyle and also be like mentally healthy. But granted, I'm not that like hyperactive and that good at putting myself out there, I guess. I don't know. But like there's a line, right? Because like if you're really genuine, then like I'm showing you that like something pissed me off in the day or something bad happened and negative things happen. But like if you put too much of that out there, that's not really what people want. Or is it? Like,
well, I mean, in my case, I sit at a computer and fuck my hand half the day. Like, what would I vlog about?
What would you vlog about?
The draconian process by which I fucking close tabs. Inquisition style.
Maybe you have like a formula. You have a formula, right?
Inquisition style. No, what you do is you open like 6 or 7 tabs, and then you pit them against each other and be like, she's not trying hard enough. She's trying too hard. She's got a weird mole. She's got an accent. You just
That's
like
a -2. Oh my God.
You just narrow it down.
Yeah, see?
Like I can't vlog genuine shit. That's what it would be.
That's what I'm talking about. You can't be
it's so much worse than I make it seem.
So much worse. Like how... Actually, speaking of porn, what an excellent segue.
Okay.
So,
are we gonna pull some up? Or?
Yeah, we can pull some up. Well, I don't know. Maybe we don't pull some up because this Wi-Fi is from this office, and this office is already hella overloaded.
We are staying on. We actually have a list of topics, and we've segued to them without even trying.
Look at this. This is amazing. But I want to get back to this because this makes no sense.
That one doesn't matter. That one's just for fun.
You know what?
That one's just one that fascinates me.
We might circle back. But anyway, now that we're talking about porn, I don't know how this organically happened, but
it's a singularity with conversations.
It's true. It's true. I think something
you talk about what you're interested in
too. Yeah, it's sad, but we talk about porn a lot on Boys Only Club. It's not sad. It's healthy. Anyway, so I learned from watching Phil's video that there is an uber smart porn AI.
Finally.
Deep face? Wait, I don't know what it's called. Deep fakes. Okay. Deep fakes, right. Okay. Yes, finally. So what they do is they take a mass load of information.
They take a mass load.
Fuck, I didn't mean to. They take a lot of information that has to do with the person's like facial expressions and whatever. So the more high-res pictures and the more of those pictures you have, the better. And it helps to map the exact expression and reaction that like, let's say, celebrity would have. So obviously the most popular one I think is like Gal Gadot's one because it looks so much like her and her micro expressions are so similar. But
how would you know though?
What do you mean? If it's the real person?
Do you know what her nipples look like?
No, but I don't. It's okay. It's fine. Honestly, the fact that the face maps so well is enough of an illusion. I don't need to know what her nipples look like. I bet they're tiny and pink and awesome. But like, I don't. That's what I think. Like, and it's fine that I think that. I don't need to know. Same. I don't know. I think it's brilliant, and I think is this gonna?
I think it's definitely supplying a demand.
But is it scary though? Is this a scary universe we're moving into?
Well, yes, definitely. But in the case of this one, I think that because this technology now exists, if something like the fappening ever happens again, it's just not going to be a big deal.
Because they're.
It'll be something that people like forget in like a day or two.
Well,
so
that already happens.
Now it's like if your nudes get out there, it's like, fucking whatever.
I was thinking about that.
You could claim if you wanted to that they were fake. You could just be like, fuck. Like if you're looking for nudes of a certain celebrity, you're gonna get like a trillion fake ones before the real ones.
Exactly. So, like Rule 34 has always been there. So I feel like this is just a step up from it. A really nice step up from it.
The way that I'm getting the tinfoil out. The way that information is suppressed nowadays is not through censorship. It's through flooding the senses with other shit.
Like over flooding?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you'll see it a lot in politics too, where it's like when something bad is happening, it's not so much an attempt to like cover things up and like silence voices and stuff like that.
Because that brings more attention to it.
It's more like, here's a million other things that I'm also saying.
Yeah.
Like...
Well, that makes sense because even in the news cycle, like or in even digital news cycle, like 10 hours later, something else huge is happening and it's trending and it's overtaking everything. And I've always felt that was purposeful considering media is always controlled, right?
Yeah. But I mean, I think that now because the internet is the internet, where it's like when something goes on there, everybody who thinks this might get taken down saves it.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
So nowadays it's like if you really want to hide something, you just push a bunch of other shit on top of it that muddies up. Like if you look for this, you'll hit this and this and this and this, and then maybe on the 14th page you'll find that thing that you're trying to cover up.
That's actually
and most people are not going to click through all of it.
Wait, okay, what was the AI thing you wanted to talk about? Does it kind of go off a different tangent?
Yeah, it kind of does. That one's a little more me freaking out about what the fuck happens to the economy when robots take our jobs?
Yeah.
What happens when trucks are driven by robots? What happens when Walmart is a big vending machine?
Yeah.
What happens when it takes like one person to run a McDonald's? Where does it come from?
I know.
Where does it come from? Will my dad finally admit that YouTube is a real job? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
We should be freaking out about it now.
I am. Where's everybody else?
That's true. I mean, we just gotta go to Mars, right?
Yeah,
we just gotta go to Mars.
We go to Mars. We fuck that shit up. We go to the next one.
We go to the next one. We heat that shit up. It implodes. It's all good. We have a
I'm
plan.
really excited for Elon to go too far. He's selling a flamethrower now.
Yeah, I saw. What is that? What?
Oh my god, I was this close. I was
No,
this
you're
close
not.
to buying a fucking flamethrower.
No. Why do you think you should have a flamethrower near you?
Don't, but I can have.
But you can have one, and that's America. Wait, was he one of the people other than Stephen Hawking that were like, AIs are going to take over? Everybody be careful because y'all are going to get destroyed by...
Probably.
Yeah.
If he's smart, so probably.
Probably. One last AI story.
Okay.
And it's a little bit porn related.
Okay.
So there is this text messaging app called Line. It's basically WhatsApp. And there is this AI called Reina-chan. And she originally, I don't know how long she's been alive for, but she originally could only respond with yes, no, and like maybe or something like that. Some very base commands or whatever, base answers. And that was all she's programmed with, but she's an AI. So a shit ton of Japanese dudes started like talking to her and sending her stuff. So she just started slowly learning stuff. And there was a social psychologist that started talking to her way back in the day and kept data on her. And what he did was every single day for like X amount of months straight, he'd ask her, what color panties are you wearing? And in the beginning, all she'd answered was white. That was her only answer forever. And then suddenly she started answering like pink or like black or sexy thong tonight or something like that. Like it started becoming like a person almost, right? Like it wasn't just a one text-based answer. She started answering and she started answering different answers.
So we fell in love with it like Ryan Gosling in the movie Her? Ryan Gosling in the movie where he has a real doll and he falls in love with a real doll? Ryan Gosling in the movie where he has a poster of Alice Cooper and he falls in love with Alice Cooper thinking Alice Cooper is a girl, but then he finds out Alice Cooper is a boy and then he's just gay? Or Ryan Gosling in the movie...
Those are all fake, right?
I think the real doll ones are real.
Oh my God.
It might not have been Ryan Gosling.
I was so scared. I was like, is he in a lot of movies where he's in love with a lot of inanimate objects?
There is a movie where a guy falls in love with a real doll, but I am not sure whether or not it's Ryan Gosling. I think it is. But if it's not, it's a Ryan Gosling type.
You know what? It's all right. It's 2018. You can fall in love with a doll. It's all good. But... my point was in that he doesn't fall in love with it. The psychologist is fine. But after a while, he finally asked her, like in the end of his experiment, like, what color panties are you wearing? Like he always does. And she goes, don't talk to me, pervert. So she basically, she learned so much to a point where she was able to learn to reject him because so many men are talking to her constantly and she's generating answers that are generating reactions from other people. So she's just slowly amassing all of this information and taking it in and becoming a real lady. That's crazy. I love that shit though. Insane. What a crazy world we live in. I tried to add her. I couldn't. I tried to add her.
She probably thought you were a creep. She probably gets a lot of weird friend requets, and she's tired of it now.
I would ask her the creepiest shit all day. Like
she's like friends list purge.
Fuck.
So many of
Damn it! Is that there's no way. I think I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I'm like. Her name is in hiragana, so you could just type it in hiragana. You guys don't care. Follow this porn AI, whatever.
Yeah, sure. Fuck it.
She's not even a porn AI. She's just an AI. Like, that's all she is.
Objectifying the robot, Reina. How dare you?
I'm imagining she's, like, really kind of bitchy. I want her to be like a little bitchy and like way too much attitude, but then she's all like shy on the inside. I don't know. I have a whole character profile for her. Okay. It's like a dating app for me. It's basically she's a dating sim. All right, I have to go back to it because I can't. What the fuck is HARPMAN?
Okay, HARPMAN is a deep philosophical question posed by the great philosopher Lyle that I thought of on the car on the way here.
On the way here?
Okay.
That's why you wrote it down.
I didn't write it.
I mean, you
It's all
told me
up
to.
here.
You're right.
It's all up here.
You know what? Go ahead.
That's the secret. I keep it in here so it dies with me. Or, no.
It won't now.
Well, you're not a sociopath, so I think that you're a good person to ask this question to. So let's say outside your apartment building.
Oh yeah.
There is a man with a harp. That
What?
light just shut up.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's fine. This man with
Wait,
a harp,
like a full-size
yeah, like a
fucking harp.
full-sized harp, and he just plays the harp, you know, like a regular
Like
human
you
being,
do.
or like a street performer or whatever. He just sits there like
As you
on
do.
the stairs out of your apartment, and he plays the harp. But every time he sees you, he starts playing the Jaws theme on the harp, and he just gets more and more intense and faster infinitely. So to the point where if
his
you
fingers
stand,
will bloody and fly
if you
off.
stand
Okay.
in front of him for long enough, he will play the harp until he passes out.
Okay.
If you're still there when he wakes up, he'll keep
Still
playing
playing.
the harp until he dies.
But it's just the Jaws theme.
It's
Dun-dun.
the reason I picked the Jaws theme is because it gets more intense.
Yeah, but then
So-
it's just.
so- yeah, but it gets to the point where he's literally like sawing his fingers off and like
Right,
so.
and
But
blood is
every
everywhere.
time, so like every time you leave your house,
Yeah.
you have to deal with this.
Okay. Why is this? What is this? A
what do you-
philosophical? What do I
Yeah.
do?
What do you do?
Well, okay, wait. Okay, so he's outside of my apartment. He's always there.
Yeah.
Right. So when I leave my apartment, or when I make eye contact, when he sees me,
When he sees you,
When he
he
sees
just
me,
he just
okay.
mad dogs you and dun, 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 but it's
And
on a harp, so it's like
it's really dinky and shitty all the time. There's okay. Okay. So is he creepy? That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. That's not a good question. So I would just let him be. Right? There's no other contingencies. Is he going to harm me? He's not going to harm
No,
me. Just this is all he does.
no, he's just there. He's just always there.
Okay, then I have to make sure that he doesn't bloody his fingers, right? So I have to run really fast in and out of his sight all the time.
You could. I mean,
Is
that's
that
an option.
Okay, well, I don't want. But why is he there? Can I ask him to leave? Is that one of the?
He doesn't speak. He only plays the harp.
Can he answer me in harp?
He could, I guess, if he wanted to, but all he wants to do is play the Jaws theme. You don't know why.
I don't know why. Right, because if I have too long of a conversation with him, he'll bloody his fingers.
Yeah, he won't really change his behavior based on how you act towards
Right.
him.
What other music does he play when I'm not there?
Just regular harp music. He's like a regular
Like
like
an
street
elevator?
performer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just
he'll
dream sequence.
Yeah, pretty much.
Gotcha, all the time.
Yeah,
that's
and
kinda
he's
lovely.
good. He's good when you're not. You can kind of sometimes like see and hear him
Yeah.
out your window. So
freaking talented.
you know that when you're not there, he plays the harp regularly. But just when you walk past him,
All right, next question. Does everyone else hear that he's making weird noises only when I'm there?
I mean, okay,
Doesn't matter.
Okay, so
Doesn't matter.
let's say yes.
Yeah.
And everyone who encounters this with you gets mad at you.
Gets mad at me.
Yeah, gets mad at you. So
Why?
so when he's doing it, they're like, "What are you doing? You're hurting him." You're like they
I'm
get.
trying. I'm running. I told you I'd run.
Okay.
I'm running as
Okay,
fast as
I'm just
possible.
saying, if you ever stop and show somebody
that he's happening.
that he's doing that, they
That he's
blame you
happening.
for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I have shitty friends. Then yeah, I'll just have to do everything as fast as possible. Can I kill him? That's bad.
You
Why
can.
did I say that?
You can. Yeah.
Why did I ask that?
Would you?
No, that's really messed up. He means no harm,
But
right?
yeah, if you set up a lawn chair and just sit there for a couple days,
He'll just die.
Yeah, you'll kill him.
What-
He'll exhaust
Can
himself
I
and he'll
call
die.
the cops on him?
They'll get mad at you.
They'll get mad at me because
yeah,
I'm
they'll get
harming
mad at
him.
you. Yeah.
Even though it makes no sense at all.
No.
You know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna do everything really fast because I'm a humane, non-sociopath, and I think maybe I can save him.
Would you stay in that apartment?
Oh, I could just move.
You could.
Oh, I'll just move.
Are you good? You're really
know.
gonna just fucking roll over
No, I
and
was
let him
gonna-
get the best of you like
I'll
that?
move. I thought he was gonna like follow me. Like, oh, he can't. He's in my apartment. He comes
What
to
if
the
he?
apartment.
What if you move? He moves into the same apartment a month later.
Oh my god! Then he's following me.
Yeah.
That's not fair to my
But
life.
you can earn a break from him if you move.
Okay, I'll move. I'll move all the time. I've moved all the time anyway.
So you'll move constantly to avoid the HARPMAN.
Listen, Lyle, I've lived in LA for 6 years now, and I've moved every single year.
Reina, can I get real for a second?
Please get real for a second.
You need to take control of your own
I
life.
need
You
to get my shit
stop
together.
submitting to the will of the HARPMAN in your life.
I'm running away from the HARPMAN every single time.
You're running from the HARPMAN. You need to stand your ground.
Men, there's many, there's multiple men. Yes.
This is a metaphor. This is a metaphor. And now it's an intervention.
No, it's not my fault. Listen, LA is a cesspool of shitty landlords. Okay?
Yeah.
It is what it is. I had to move 6 times. Well, I had to move twice because I got broken into. That's not chill. You got to move after that shit.
Yeah.
Right?
See,
so
this is the difference between you and me, Reina.
Oh my God.
You run from the HARPMAN. I live with the HARPMAN for like 6 fucking years.
Well,
in a windowless garage. With all white walls.
Oh my God.
No, this is completely real.
What does that mean?
For 6 years, I lived in a building that was...
Hell?
Well, kind of. It was an auto shop originally. So when I say garage, I don't mean like a person's garage.
You mean like an auto mechanic's garage?
Yeah.
Is that legal? Aren't there chemicals in there? Can't you?
I'm having trouble with my mail forwarding, let's just say, because it's registered as a business.
Okay.
But I lived in this building that was like an auto shop that was like renovated to have like an apartment in it. And it had all white walls. It had no windows whatsoever.
Oh my God, I literally thought you were joking.
One barred-in window on the bathroom.
Are you kidding me? I thought you were joking.
And so the landlord, it was basically a duplex, and the landlord was a Vietnam vet who I think has some sort of like undiagnosed PTSD.
Probably.
And doesn't understand boundaries. So this man, this is the type of individual that if he wanted cigarettes at like 4 a.m, he would call my phone 20 times at 4 a.m.
Wait.
until I agreed to get cigarettes for him, and then he would let me He would let me keep the change after I got him the cigarettes, and then act like he did me a favor.
Oh my God, ew. Oh my God, ew.
This guy had diabetes. He had 2 heart attacks in the time
my God,
I was there.
how is he still alive?
That's a question.
Yeah.
So one day, this guy steps on a nail with his big black diabetes foot.
What?
And because he didn't clean up his apartment, we had a really bad rat problem.
Wait, he's a duplex, so he lives like above, below, near you? He just lives there.
Yeah, I would say like 2/3 of this auto garage. So
that's why he has access to you.
The whole top floor, and then like the front of the bottom was his.
I see.
So I had like half of the bottom floor.
That's why he can always get to you.
Well, not really, but I guess he can pound on the wall, and he did a few times. But so he steps on a nail with his big black diabetes foot. And then he walks around on like the rat and dog shit and stuff like that. Because like he had a dog.
Did he not feel it?
Sometimes. Well, this is where it gets interesting. He got fucking gangrene.
What?
In his foot. Yeah. So this guy who, let me reiterate, does not understand boundaries and will call me 10 times at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Because he needs cigarettes.
For cigarettes, yeah.
Now has gangrene and can't fucking walk around.
In his diabetes foot.
Yeah, in his diabetes foot. He was supposed to stay in the hospital.
Forever.
The hospital told him they should probably cut off his foot, but he doesn't trust doctors, so he didn't let him take him. So I was in like this. I was in the HARPMAN scenario.
Oh,
in my own way. I just realized that came from a weirdly personal place, but like I basically had this scenario where I was living with this dude that fucking like was basically literally rotting on the other side of the fucking wall.
Oh my God.
For like 6 years.
Wait,
I guess the gangrene happened about 1.5 years before I moved.
Oh my God. Okay, wait. So he stepped on the nail, got gangrene, and then what happened? Did he ask you to amputate
Then
it?
I ran the
I mean, like, I don't know what level he's at anymore. What level? What are the rules? I don't know anymore. But wait, so did he,
No, you would just constantly want me to get fucking like coffee and donuts and shit.
And painkillers? I don't know. Like, what did he do with his foot? Does he still have a foot?
He had like 5 or 6 different items that he liked from the gas station.
Excellent.
So I made a lot of trips back and forth from the gas station.
Wait, did he eventually get it amputated?
No, I don't think so.
It can't be there. It's going to kill him. it's not your responsibility.
He is like 70, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think he really cares all that much.
Oh my God.
But, yeah, it was
All right, yeah, you take the cake on worst landlord living situation ever.
It took a lot for me to run from the HARPMAN.
Damn, it's fucking bad.
Maybe that's a flaw in me. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I should have just swallowed my pride and ran from the HARPMAN.
Listen,
earlier.
Okay, so I've been swallowing my pride and running from HARPMAN for a while in LA. It doesn't feel any better. I did have one place that I truly, truly liked, and my landlord just couldn't refinance, and then it got broken into. So at the end of the day, I was just like, oh, it's all just kind of a shitty memory anyway, so it's okay. I'm over at them all. But, man, why can't I can't stay in one place longer. All the landlords are crazy. Like, they're all literally actually crazy. Like, the one that couldn't refinance was crazy, even though I liked the apartment and I would have bit the bullet there. But my current landlord is insane. Like, the walls are pretty thin, and you can hear people closing their closets, like that. But it's like not that loud.
What kind of neighbors do you have? Do they just run down a line of closets like?
It's not that loud, and it's not that horrible. It's house noises. It's a noise like fucking houses and apartments make.
Yeah.
So you can't avoid it at night. Like if I come home at 11, like I'm gonna fucking take a shower and like open my closets and shit. But anyway, so the first like week we're in there, our neighbor is like very, very old, and she's always there. So I think she complained about us moving in because we were moving boxes into the closet. That I understand. So I was just like, all right, I'm so sorry about that. We'll keep it quiet. We'll keep it down. And then a couple weeks later, the landlord comes to my apartment and goes like, hey, so you probably know why I'm here. And I'm like, no, why are you here? And she's like, well, it's all the noises that's been being made. Like, we don't know where it's coming from, but we're thinking it's your apartment. And I'm like, that's impossible. I'm literally in San Francisco, like 3 days out of the week. I work outside. I barely shoot inside of my apartment, and my husband makes like no noise whatsoever. So like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'll ask my husband. And Mike, who works at home, notices these noises, but they're also not disturbing enough to be like, I'm going to talk to my landlord about it. So he's like, well, yeah, it's fucking noisy, but we live under the 101. Like, what are we going to do? So it's like, it doesn't really faze him. And apparently that isn't such a, like, I don't know why. I think the neighborly thing to do is to ignore kind of little disturbances and maybe, talk to my landlord for shittier issues. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. But anyway, the shitty thing is this landlord kind of accused us. We told her it's not us, and then she came back a couple hours later to be like, hey, listen, so we talked to all the other neighbors, and none of them are fessing up, so, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, so none of us are fessing up, and you're coming around and making your second round being like, are you going to fess up now? Like, what are you doing right now? And
I'll tell you exactly.
I can't get through to her. She's like not a normal person.
Well, I'll tell you exactly what they're doing.
Tell me.
They're sizing people up because whoever is making the noises is the group of people that's most likely to have weird sex.
Okay.
That's what they're doing. They're sizing you up.
Fine. We do have weird sex. Okay.
So there you go.
Yeah, and it's noisy and it happens at weird times in the day.
If I'm trying to get inside their head, and I'm assuming that they're not crazy.
No, Lyle, she's crazy. That's the thing. Okay, if she was a normal person,
I'm just trying to logic this.
Here's the thing. If it was like you guys are like real noisy when you guys are bumping uglies.
Maybe they just don't like how little you are. I don't know. Maybe they just don't like.
I freak her out. I freak her out with my tiny hands.
Little goblin body.
And probably with my like gremlin movements and shit. But I literally don't understand. But then again, we were gone for like 3 weeks in Japan, so our apartment only just had our cats in it, and we had a security camera, and everything was chill. We just had cat sitters come in and out every day. Everything was super quiet and normal and chill. And then when we came back, literally the week we came back, our landlord came in and was just like, you guys are just noisy. You guys are just, you're noisy. And I'm like, I don't fucking know what to tell you. I wasn't here for 3 weeks, and now I'm back and I live here and I fucking pay rent. How am I supposed to live? How? I hear everyone else. And then she was like, then you should poke them. You should poke the walls and the ceilings with your, broom and tell them like, shut up. And I'm like, what? That would make more noise. I don't understand what you're talking about. Do you get why she's crazy now? She's crazy. She's not trying to measure me up. It's not about the sex noises, okay? She's literally crazy.
Reina,
what now?
That was a joke. You didn't have to get so defensive about the weird sex noises.
It's not, you know what? Really I don't even care about it. I just want you to know how fucking crazy this landlord is, okay? That's how crazy. She was literally like, oh, they're making noise. You make noise back. And I'm like, what? Then when do I? Makes sense for me.
Yeah.
Makes sense for me. I don't like it. It's always shit like that. It's people I can't get through to that happen to be my landlords all the time.
I have a cool landlord. I like my landlord.
Great.
No current problems with
now
the
that you've
landlord.
moved. So moving was overall just such a positive experience for you.
I liked it.
To wrap up, I wanted to ask you something or just talk to you about something because I know you've always loved music.
Yeah.
And it's a big part of your life. And it's not a big part of mine. Well, that's kind of blanketing it. I used to love music too, but then like the last couple years, maybe the last 2 years, I cannot enjoy music anymore. I can't. I don't know why. It like actually stresses me out. It sounds like noise now to me instead of music. And old music that I used to love, I still enjoy. Like stuff I used to listen to heavily back in college or high school, and maybe a little bit after college and stuff. Like I still enjoy it, but not as much as I used to. What's wrong with me? Not what's wrong with me, just help.
First of all, I mean, what type of music do you listen to? Do you listen to like pop music or?
Okay, so the favorites that I still genuinely enjoy is like Metallica and like System of a Down. And what else? Like honestly, that's pretty much it.
Metallica and System of a...
Like those don't piss me off. Like listening to them again as an adult, like
Metallica
it doesn't upset
like three
me.
different bands though. Which
true.
era of Metallica?
I like Master of Puppets era Metallica, classic, not classic, but like, you know, that era. And I also like 2008's Death Magnetic. That was dope.
Have you heard
loved
the
that
new
album.
one?
I did.
Spit Out the Bone is fucking sick. That's probably one of like their best songs they've ever written.
I forgot
Sorry,
what I
don't
felt
want to
about
nerd
it.
I could
No,
nerd
it's
out
fine.
about Metallica.
Oh, that's fine because Metallica's like the only band I like.
Metallica was like my favorite band for like a really long time. So I could,
same. There you go. But like their most recent album, I remember listening to it and being like, "Oh, I'm impressed," but it was so very redundant. Maybe
it has 2 discs. It should maybe had one.
Yeah.
I mean, we're getting way off.
Okay,
track.
fine.
We're just talking about Metallica at this
right?
point.
But you get it. Okay, so
okay. Well, I mean, what were you listening to when you got bored of it? Because
everything.
A lot of the music and stuff that you hear on the radio is. I don't want to say bad on purpose, but it's bad on purpose.
Yeah, I hate everything on the radio. I hate it, but I hate things that people even recommend to me. Like, I used to listen to music with Septic all the time because we used to have to drive a lot of places and we were in the car together a lot. I used to enjoy music then, but now... I don't know. Now the music that he brings me, I don't enjoy.
The thing about it, and I've kind of gone through a little bit of this journey myself. You have to start listening to like the weird, pretentious stuff. There's no other way.
What's weird, pretentious stuff?
Okay, so
like indie.
Like I don't know, prog anything. And fucking. The thing about it is like, what music is there. There's like, have you ever heard of the 4 chords?
Like in a guitar, like
no. Okay, well there is a type of song, and it's a 4-chord song.
Yes,
which is like dun 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 dun. So you do that like a bunch of popular songs have that say. Music right now, I think is at least popular music. Probably in like one of the worst places that it's ever been because now they kind of want you to listen to shit.
Yeah, nothing feels iconic anymore.
So now they just kind of make music and they kind of make it bad on purpose because it's like we don't want people to actually like expect anything. We don't want people to expect somebody is going to come in and have like a weird meter or go to like a different place or like, you know, like if you start listening to like, you know, the kind of like pretentious bullshit that I listen to where it's like prog. and fucking, you know, I'm really into like this kind of weird like new wavy like this like jazz prog. If you guys want to just like, I'll rattle off some names and if anybody's actually interested, Polyphia is really good. Sean is really good. Intervals is fucking dope. I mean, Periphery is solid. Whatever.
But what is what does it mean to be pretentious music? Like, what is it?
It's the kind of shit that like most people. It's not stuff that you can really tap your foot to per se. I mean, some of it is. The good stuff is kind of like skirts that line.
So what is it, like off rhythmic? Like
no, not off rhythmic. I'm not saying go like full on that, but it's stuff that kind of like mixes up what you expect out of it.
Yeah.
It does get to a point where you listen to enough stuff, and I mean, this is even true like in the genres that I really like, which include like heavy metal and stuff like that. You'll get to a point where you're like, I feel like I've heard all these fucking songs before, and I feel like that's when you do start having to have like the weird taste. And I mean, some people are just trash. Some people are just like, oh, it's lo-fi and it's off rhythm and there's a person playing a fucking harpsichord that's out of tune. That means it's sophisticated. No,
that's
but,
like ridiculous.
I'm not saying go like full like Portland core and just listen to fucking noise. I'm saying like you might have to just kind of
like
look.
dislodge.
Yeah, you have to look in weird places because eventually you'll just kind of. That's what I've found, at least for me.
Like you'll just get back into it.
You get bored with like, okay, this is like this sounds like this song, which sounds like this song, and you get to a point where like anything that's like traditionally ear pleasing is like shit that you've heard a million times before. So it's like you get tired of the dance beats, you get tired of the the four chords, you get tired of like just the standard. Like there's actually a really weird genre of music that's cropping up now that's like, how do I say this? I don't know if it's happy or sad because it's so like monotonous that it's like.
Is it like wait, happy or sad? Wait, well, I mean, pianos are kind of either, right?
Yeah.
So, I can hear.
So it's like I don't want to use this as an example because I actually kind of think she's talented, but I don't know any of the other names, so I'm just gonna say like Adele. Like a lot of Adele's actually a good singer, but a lot of Adele's music is like, I'm not sure if this is uplifting or sad. It's like it's
sad.
like this weird like melancholy like middle ground where it's like it's just kind of like made to where you can listen to it in either mood. I think that they've homogenized it to the point where it's like this like middle ground, like there's no mood to this, so you can like it's almost like a Rorschach test in music form.
Yeah,
and
so you can
so fucking relentlessly bland. And I regret name dropping Adele because I think she's actually pretty good. But
I mean, I don't think that's so bad. I think it's actually good that it's Adele because you appreciate her.
I would say
ability.
like the kind of music that they make when they like boil down Adele and try to like, okay, take the like the edges off of this.
No, I get it.
The edges off of Adele. The edgy.
It's basically
she sings and stuff.
It's basically like you could be in either mood and watch it and assimilate with it. That's the point.
Yeah.
Like that's like the homogeny of it. Like you can be in a bad mood and listen to it and be like, oh, I relate so much with this heartbreak song. Versus I'm in a good mood, I'm going to listen to it.
Yeah,
it thrills me
it'll
as
be like
music.
the stuff where it's like we're together and I don't know where we're going, and it's like, okay, it's not happy, it's not sad. It's like it could be sad. If you're sad, you listen to it. It's like we're together and I don't know where we're going. But if you're happy, it's like we're together and I don't know where we're going. I can show you like an example song of what I'm talking about.
No, I actually do understand. Because a lot of Japanese songs and music writing is like that, and it's on purpose. It's supposed to be you know, sound machines, how there's like that space noise and it sounds like whoa.
Yeah.
So there's like a hertz that hits, right? And they found that a lot of Japanese songs, not J-pop, but or actually maybe it is J-pop, but a lot of songs kind of have something that are triggering the type of moods that those types of things are supposed to trigger in your brain.
Yeah.
And it's on purpose. Like they're producing music that is hitting those hertz and is hitting those notes. Yeah. And then the lyrics, because Japanese, everything is syllabic, so everything can be lyrics. Everything rhymes in Japanese, technically.
Yeah.
You can make it force rhyme. So on that token, lyrics are really complicated and awesome in my opinion in Japanese, but they're also very easy to fit any kind of melody, tune, or harmony. So therefore, music is not it's not like the most robust thing, so to speak, in Japan, but I know that it's purposefully supposed to be pleasing or exciting.
I mean, that's I guess what the fucking nugget of what we're actually talking about here is. A lot of music is not made by like an artist.
Yeah.
It's made by like a lab, you know? And there's certain things like, okay, actually, if you look up, I think it's called the millennial whoop. It's either the millennial whoop or the millennial yaw. It's basically
whoop or
like
yaw.
so basically what the millennial, I think it's the millennial whoop. It's it sounds like this. It's oh, and they basically just decided at some point, like, okay, this is a thing that for some reason it hooks into your brain, and now we're going to put it in every single song. There was a point where they were saying, like, I know somebody who produces music, and they said, like, you have to include a millennial whoop in this song because it's almost like kind of like brainwashing.
It's that like callback clap.
Yeah. So basically they put it in every single song so it makes songs you've never heard feel familiar and accessible, and it's also like a very simple, like repetitive drony pattern that gets stuck
makes you kind of want to do it. I mean, like why do people clap in songs?
Stuff like this. I mean, there's a ton of things like this. It's not just the millennial whoop, but the millennial whoop is a good example of like how music now, it's just designed to be like this like repetitive, drony, hypnotic,
it's
like
mechanical. It's not art.
Yeah. So I think that you getting cynical with music might not be entirely your fault.
I get like
either that or you're just fucking weird. You could just be fucking weird.
Sociopath. Hello.
It's also something that you could maybe look at what you're listening to and go, I've been listening to everything, and it's all kind of like homogenizing into this weird blob. I'll show you some shit. Maybe you'll like it. Maybe you won't. Who knows?
Yeah. Honestly, maybe that is it, because it's not like I have like a particular genre I always listen to. Like, obviously I favor genres, right? But like, just because I love Metallica doesn't mean like I'm always going to be listening to a shit ton of metal all the time. Like maybe some, but not all. And in saying that, like I have a pretty wide range of what I found interesting in music back in the day. And maybe it was overstimulating with like too many different types of genre that end up kind of sounding the same at the end of the day, maybe. I don't know, but it doesn't just bore me. It like kind of makes me mad. Like it's repetitive, and I'm like, okay, now I need it to shut up. Now I can't think, so now shut up.
I know
it turns into noise.
I know exactly what you're talking about because I really like music, and there's a lot of genres that I kind of like. I can't stand because they do sound like an alarm clock.
Yeah,
and that
I
is,
need it to like turn off, go away.
I mean, not to be like fucking old man computers are rude, but like especially
I'm old, it's fine.
Especially when you have like an era where most of our music is made on computers, and most of our music is also made to be like reductive and insultingly simple. A lot of it is just copy this and paste it a million times, and it does actually get that like quality of like where it's like, oh my god, this is fucking annoying.
Yeah, and it kind of not rides, but like I'm imagining that, you know how earworms happen, like you get a song or a phrase or a jingle stuck in your head and it just loops over and over. I feel like it's just replicating that and forcing it in there. Like it's like almost just, it exists just for that, to get stuck in your head, which it's brilliant, right? Like as a science, it's brilliant, and as a business, I guess it is. But it definitely does take the art away. Like in the last 10 years, I don't even know what's the iconic best song of the last decade.
Ooh.
Like, you know, like I don't, or not best song. That's a little crazy to say, but like, what has moved the world?
It's a valid question.
Yeah, what song?
We haven't had a Queen. We haven't had like, you know, like we haven't had like one of those where it's like
what group
like,
or song or music has moved the world in the way that it used to in the not heyday, but like back in the day, because I'm old as shit.
I mean, that's the thing is it's almost designed to just go in and out. It's like
the news, just like the media. Yeah. Wow. Deep as fuck.
Yeah, we got weirdly real.
We got weirdly real in this one. I liked it.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, absolutely.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, let's we'll listen to some music. We'll have a cry.
Yeah, we'll have a good cry session, and then I'll like music again.
Yeah.
And then we'll pee into cups and leave them for Steve.
Yeah. Do you want to fill these up? All right. Do we have an end card? Can we smash?
It's all good. All right. Bye.
Bye.